KCAA.com or our website, KCAA whateverworks.com, to find upcoming and previous episodes.
We'd like to thank all the KCAA listeners for supporting our show. Happy Sunday. We'll keep the music going in the background for a little bit. You guys are listening to Whatever Works. I'm Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
Yes, my co-host, he is up on the screen by himself today. I am in the back of the board. Our board off is, he let me do all the controlling today, so let's make it a fun show.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting.
So, before we start our show, I want Kyle to give our sponsors a quick shout out.
Shout out to snjradio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And also our man, Secondhand Sam, over at Second Chance Thrift Store next to USA Subs on Ucoppa Boulevard.
Feeling blessed. There you go.
There we go.
A little round of applause for my people. Let's go.
There we go. Our sponsors.
All right. So we did have a guest that was supposed to come in this evening. Unfortunately, she was on a plane. She couldn't make it. But I want to give a little shout out to Tristan Cunningham.
Yes.
There you go. She was going to come on, and she is actually the founder and creative director of True Raw Magazine. She's Haitian. She was born in Haiti, and she immigrated with her family to California during her teenage years. Not being fluent in English challenged Tristan tried to work hard to break expectations and overcome stereotypes. But now she is somebody who owns her own magazine. She's out there to inspire the people. I know a lot of people from Haiti try to come in, and luckily she was one of them, and she deserves it. You know, she's worthy because she came out here to inspire and to bring happiness to the world, and that's exactly what she's doing. So, hey, you know what? A round of applause to her, even though she's not here.
Yeah, round of applause. There we go.
Yes.
2 Sundays from now, the 19th?
Yes, 2 Sundays from now, the 19th.
She'll be here.
Yep.
Or she'll call in.
7 o'clock. You guys know what it is. Whatever works. Sam and Kyle here to bring the good news, because I know a lot of things have been bad lately, and that's all that's been on the news. That's all that's been on social media and stuff. So the show's called Whatever Works, and today we are going to be talking about joy, happiness, and everything besides all the bad and negativity out there. So here we are. So Kyle, first of all, how are you, my man?
I'm doing excellent. It's a beautiful Sunday.
Yes.
Spent kind of a vacation last week. Did a lot of things I don't normally do.
Man, this whole week you've been doing stuff. You're out with my brother.
I was out, me and Timmy.
Yeah, shout out to Timmy. He's out here in the studio, too. Give me another round of applause.
Round of applause for Tim.
Yeah, there you go. And your dad's in the studio.
My dad is here. He just got a new car today, actually.
Hey, keep the applause coming.
There we go. Toyota Redlands. We were able to hook a deal up for him, so.
Yeah, what kind of car did your dad get?
It was a 2017 Toyota Yaris.
Yaris. There
So
you
they
go.
were able to hook him up with that.
That's pretty exciting. When was the last time you guys got a brand new car?
He said, what century is this? That was what my dad said. Oh, man. For me, I think it was like 2015.
2015?
So
yeah.
Quite a while ago.
Yeah, so that's good, man. You know, getting new things are always nice.
Yeah,
you know, it
definitely.
keeps you going. You know, you work hard, and having something tangible really shows you, like, hey, like that's my trophy right there. I worked hard, and here's my reward. You know. So,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good job, guys. I'm glad you guys got a new car and stuff. So
Yeah.
I heard you have bad luck when it comes to cars.
Always bad luck. I get it from my dad.
Yeah,
Sure.
so it's not just you, it's the whole family, huh?
It's the whole family.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So there's a couple things that I wanted to talk about when it comes to, you know, being happy and all that good stuff. And I just want to report to everybody some of the good things that happened around the world and, you know, even locally around here.
Let's hear it.
Yeah. So first of all, let's take a step back a little bit. Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, that's a day to really think about everyone out there that's, you know, fighting for us and lay down their lives for us, you know. And Monday, I really reflected on that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I went out to Havasu over the weekend, but on Memorial Day,
Yeah.
like even out on the weekend, I was walking by and I see all these people just partying, you know, and I thought about it. I was like, why are we all here? You know, it's for Memorial, and it's like, it's for they literally sacrificed their lives so we're able to do this. We're able to celebrate. We're
Yeah.
able to come together and not have fear, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And so on Memorial Day, on Monday, I came home and I really I thought about as many people as I could that fallen, you know,
Yeah, definitely.
that risked their lives. So Memorial Day is definitely a appreciative day for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what'd you do on your Memorial Day, by the way?
Fishing. We went fishing all day up in Big Bear.
Oh, cool. Did you catch anything?
I did not. Well, what happened was I did catch something, but it went away off with my bobber.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I saw my bobber go more towards the lake. I was like,
Oh,
the line
man.
snapped.
That's funny.
But no, that was the only thing that anyone caught. But it was a good day. We all spent several hours up there and ate and came down.
I mean, at least your fishing line got a little tug.
Yeah.
Because when I went out to Havasu the first day, it was Friday, we went fishing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And you're going to ask me, did I catch anything? No.
No.
See, but what happened was we're on top of this cliff and we're looking down. And we see these like decent sized fish splashing out of the water.
Yeah, that's what we saw. Yeah.
You know, so I was like, okay, perfect. We're going to catch something.
No.
And not a single thing. You know, so we were like,
Yeah.
whatever, let's just go cliff jumping now. You know, like we know what's
There
in the
we go,
water. These
yeah.
little small fish, you know. But I'm not even an adrenaline junkie. You know, I don't cliff jump. You know, I don't know what Timmy does, but when I was there, there's a trick. If you're out gonna go cliff jumping, just go do it. Don't back
Just
back
do it.
down.
Just jump.
Right. But what I did is we throw our sandals down first.
Oh, okay.
So now we got to go get our sandals, right? Because
Oh,
out in
yeah.
Arizona, woo,
That's kind of smart, I guess.
I mean, you're kind of forced to
Yeah.
jump, you know? And my buddy was like, all right, we'll jump on 3. And like I just said, like I'm not a person who does cliff jumping. I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah,
I'm scared of
so
getting injured. You know what I mean? Like there can be a rock right there and you just stop. You know, like I don't like that. I don't like the feeling of like throbbing. You know what I mean? So if I
Yeah,
hit my
definitely.
foot,
That's the hardest part.
Yes. But like I talked about in one of my previous shows or one of our previous shows, is when you the feeling of being nervous is the same chemical reaction into your adrenaline as being excited,
Yeah.
right? So psychologically, you just got to convince yourself that you're excited and not scared,
Yeah, exactly.
right? So
Yeah.
I know that. So I'm looking over the cliff, I'm breathing real heavy, and I'm like, woo! You know, like I'm yelling, I'm excited, you know, and then I'm looking down, I'm counting, I'm like 1, but like really, like you can just tell that
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna do it, but I eventually did, and my buddy who's like, yeah, we'll jump together on 3, and 1, 2, 3, and I jumped. And as I'm falling, I look up and I just see him just standing there, just laughing. Like he didn't jump. I was like, oh, but he was at a higher point, and I mean, he's not scared. Like he jumped after. He just wanted to see me, you know,
Yeah.
face my fears a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that is part of growth in life
It is.
is like facing your fear.
You can't grow being comfortable.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You know, and life is like, you know, metaphorically speaking, it's kind of like the stock market. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
Your life can only go 2 ways, up or down. You know, you can't have a stagnant life your
For
whole
sure, yeah.
life. You know, so being comfortable, watch your life start dropping. You know, and that's something that I'm pretty like strong on right now because, like every day, you know, I'm here to progress at least 1% a day. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
like I want to grow. I want my family to follow my footsteps. You know, I want to inspire people to keep moving forward. You know, and
Yeah.
so I mean that's like one positive thing. But the things that I looked up today for our show, this one's actually a good one. So there was a nursing home that got flooded with Pomeranian and British Bulldog puppies to bring up their spirits.
That's cute. I love that.
Yeah, and I like it's a cute little video, brother. They had like 20 dogs, like little puppies that just running down the hall, and you see all these seniors with big smile on their faces, you know?
Yeah.
So that's really cool. And like one of the reasons why they did that is because I mean, you know, during the whole pandemic, like families can't go visit them,
Yeah, exactly.
you know? So
It
they're
was hard.
yeah, they're sitting in their group homes and just you know, being sad. So these puppies really brought up their spirits for the time being. So that was pretty cool. And there's another one that's exciting. We'll go ahead in detail with this one. But on your birthday, Kyle, right? May
Yeah,
22nd.
May 22nd.
This Pakistani, he had a wedding, and he invited everyone from Birmingham, Alabama, the whole city.
The whole city.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you want to know why?
What's going on? Why is that? Why do you do that?
So he's from Pakistan, and this guy would have yearly like kidney stones,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And so he needed to get surgery, but he did his research and he said this specific hospital in Alabama was the best place for this, surgery, whatever. So he went on Reddit and he was looking up like places to stay or what to do, what not to do, whatever. And people started replying to him like, "Hey, if you come down, I'll show you around."
Yeah.
And when he arrived at the airport, he had like in the interview, he was like 15, 20 people would like message him and
man.
they would bring him gifts. They'll drive him around
That's so
places.
awesome.
They'll buy him dinners. They'll give him places to stay, like the whole 9 yards. And they took, the city of Birmingham took care of him while he was out there.
Yeah.
And so he just felt so grateful that when he came back for his wedding, he invited the whole city.
That's amazing.
Like he told not only the people that helped him out, but he was like, invite everyone, that's in the whole city.
That's crazy.
Because anywhere around the world, you won't get that hospitality.
No.
Well,
I mean, and like every once in a while, you'll find little pockets like that, like like really cool people.
Yeah.
Just go out of the way to meet someone who like you've never met, and
yeah, and it's cool meeting new people.
Yeah.
And I mean, not to be funny, but it's like they probably never met a Pakistani in Alabama.
Yeah. I mean.
So
Yeah,
it's
it doesn't
like,
sound like that demographic
like,
matches.
yeah, like, hey,
Yeah.
come through. I want to know, like I never met one before.
Yeah.
Let me show you around the city. You're brand new. The culture's different, And so yeah, that was pretty cool. I like that one. I actually love weddings, so I wish I got invited to that wedding.
Right.
I've been to a couple weddings, like different types of weddings,
Yeah.
but I never been to like a Pakistani wedding,
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like their traditional weddings are probably way different than
Oh yeah.
American weddings or even like Spanish weddings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I've been to a couple. My aunt, she married a guy. Well, it's rude to call him Indian because it's like an island off of India.
Gotcha.
So I don't know what his ethnicity is, but it was like a hybrid of like my aunt's culture wedding, and then like halftime was like she came in dressed in like a traditional Indian gown, and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
And they did their whole traditional ritual and stuff, and
That's cool.
ate their food, didn't even know what it was called, didn't know what was in it, but hey,
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool. And I'm kind of jumping off topics here, but speaking of like foreign food, something that I've realized is that every time I go out to eat foreign food, no matter how much of food I eat, I never get like full.
Yeah, right?
Like, you come here, you go to McDonald's or just like eat any like American side food, you can get so full, like your stomach's just like expanded.
Yeah, exactly.
But every time I go out to eat some foreign food, it's like, dude, I feel lean still, like I
Yeah.
know I ate a lot, but it's like I feel good,
Yeah, there's a actually on Thursday, one of the places I went to was the Oceanside Market Night.
Yeah, talk about that.
So Oceanside Market Night was mostly food. Like 80% of it was food.
It was like a food market almost.
It was a food market, and like every tent was a different like country. Like there was Kenyan food, there was like Haitian food, there was like next to it was Colombian, Greek.
Wow.
Anything you could think of. There was like 100 countries there, different tents, different food.
Dang. I would think you would have to go to Disney World to
Right?
to go visit
Or like
that type of
LA
stuff.
or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it was a really cool experience.
So what made you go out to Oceanside?
This whole week was just spontaneous.
Yeah, I know.
Pick a destination and go.
I know you and Timmy went on an adventure this
Yeah,
whole
we
week,
did.
man.
And we were just brainstorming ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Oceanside, went to the Brea Summerfest. That was cool. We spent a little bit of time. Where else did we go, Timmy?
Oh, he doesn't even know.
No,
huh?
he doesn't even
Too many
know.
ideas.
There's too many.
Yeah, I mean, you guys went on a bunch of hikes too.
We went on a bunch of hikes. Yesterday we went to Riverside, did a hike there.
At Mount Rubidoux?
Sycamore Canyon.
Oh, Sycamore.
Yeah.
Okay, a little different.
Yeah, a little different.
Have you been to Mount Rubidoux?
Once.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
climbed it once.
Yeah, there's actually a secret spot. Um,
Secret spot.
I guess it's not gonna be a secret after I tell everyone on the air. But as you go up Mount Rubidale, you go to the top right, and then there's the American flag on the left. There's the cross in the middle. You know,
Oh right, yeah, yeah.
you go up the stairs and you go past the cross,
Mm.
and then there's like a little trail. You follow the little trail, and it's this big boulder, this huge rock, and you walk around it, and it's literally cut out a section on the inside, and they shaped it for a bench. There's a place where you can stand, and like
Oh,
there's it's a
really?
whole wall. It's its own like exclusive section.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I
and
never
like
noticed that.
yeah, and I had my sister come with me one day, and we had like a little picnic there.
Yeah.
You know, because it's cool, bro. Like no one knows about that spot.
Yeah.
And excuse me, I've been coughing the past couple days. It's a really cool spot up in Mount Rubidoux, so go check it out. Um, I've never been to Sycamore, so is it more like wildlife or how is it?
No, it was. I mean, there are rattlesnake warnings, but that's it.
Did you see any rattlesnakes?
No, we didn't see any.
Ah,
We thought we saw like a den, but
mm.
I don't know how recent or how old it was. So
You know, speaking of snakes, and I know this topic's supposed to be about like happy stuff, but you know, whatever works.
whatever
Right?
works.
Last year in Havasu, this kid who's probably like 9, 12 years old, they had I think it was like an 8-foot python,
What?
bro, chilling on the channel in the water. Just this big old thing just swimming, bro. And it was like an albino one, so it was like white and
Yeah.
yellow. And this kid is literally like whipping the snake, dunking his head in the water, and just like, but the snake never did anything. It was just having
Chilling?
fun. It was just chilling.
What?
It was crazy, dude. Because I guess that family, they deal with like reptiles and snakes and stuff, and that's one of them. That's one of the snakes that they have, and so they brought it out to
Oh,
the
so they knew what
channel.
to do.
I mean, yeah, they knew that it was the chillest snake. They knew that it hasn't, you know what I mean? But
That's crazy.
it
I
was
would never.
massive, dude. I was like, like I was freaking out. I was like, bro, there's a snake, and I was like, I didn't want to like riled up the crowd, but I mean, everyone knew it was
See,
like their pet snake.
I'm not afraid of snakes, but like big snakes, like pythons or boas, like those just freak me out.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because let me ask you something, Kyle. What is your spirit animal, or what animal do you admire the most?
Admire. Probably. Hmm. Tiger or puma, one of those.
Tiger or puma? And why is that?
Someone in that family, because they're majestic.
Okay.
You know, they're one of a kind.
Just like any other animal. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but the reason why I brought that up is because Timmy and I were having a conversation. He's like, "Oh, what's your spirit animal, or what animal do you admire the most?" And I said sharks. Ever since I was a little kid,
Yeah.
sharks intrigued me so much. And he was like, "Why?" I was like, "Because I fear them, bro. I'm so scared of them."
Yeah.
You know? And he's like, "Well, it seems to me like you admire the things that you have fear of." You know?
Yeah.
I was like, "Dang, Timmy, I didn't really think about that." But
Yeah. He said
something that has more power than
something
me.
that has more power.
Yeah. And
That's-
then,
yeah.
you know, we're going to stick to this animal subject real quick, but let me ask you this. Because we had this whole debate at the house, and like, no one wanted to lose. No one wanted to agree to disagree, that we all wanted to win. But why is the lion the king of the jungle? Because let me tell you this, he's not the biggest.
No.
Elephants are the biggest.
Yeah.
He's not the fastest. Cheetahs are faster.
Cheetahs are way faster. Yeah.
Not the smartest. I can't give you an animal that's smarter than a lion, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he ain't there. So why is that lion the king of the jungle?
I don't know.
Hmm.
I have no idea. Maybe it's because. Yeah, I have no idea.
You know, I think, because this is all just personal thinking, I would have to say when it comes to like pride and territory,
Definitely.
you know?
Yeah.
Because if like elephants, they run off and they just move on, you know? Like a lion, they're on this part of land and they ain't gonna give up. They'll rather die, you know?
Yeah, they do have like they do create like okay, so when I went to Namibia in 2018, I
Mm.
learned this about lions that they create neighborhoods in their pack.
Mm.
So certain lions will, typically hang out with these lions or those lions or, you know, and you have to like they do these trials with each other
Hmm.
on which neighborhood you should be a part of.
Oh wow.
And then there's like an apex tribe, a tribe with like the alpha males, alpha females, stuff like that.
All that, yeah.
So yeah, you have to compete to get in there. On top of you have to qualify for that. So lions are smart enough to know, hey, no,
Hierarchy.
yeah, hierarchy. Like, hey, we don't mess with this lion over here,
Dang.
or like,
No,
it's just
that's
like,
pretty crazy.
yeah,
Yeah. And what I find most interesting is the male lions don't do the hunting.
no, it's the
it's the
females.
females.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy too. Yeah,
But I
you never
mean,
learn that.
the male lion has to be there to protect its territory and land and all that good stuff.
Yeah,
So,
I think from what they told me, and don't quote me on this, but the male lions mainly protect the territory, and the females somewhat provide.
yeah, cuz I mean
Yeah.
they're providing the food, the
Yeah.
the family, like hey, the female lion has more jobs than the male lion.
And when I first learned that, I was like, where are all the female lions? And they're like, oh, well, they're out hunting. I'll be like, what do you mean? I thought that's what male lions did. I'm like, no,
Mm-mm.
it's the females.
That's
That's
pretty cool.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't name another animal species that does that.
Right.
Even human species.
Yeah.
Like the men they provide, they protect, they
Yeah.
profess their love, at least that's how it should be. But any other animal, it's different. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm into animals and stuff, but I don't know a lot about them, so we'll just move on from that topic. But speaking of animals, dogs, all right? So
Dogs. Yeah.
another thing that was kind of cheery to brighten up someone's life a little bit. This old woman, she had a dog and it died, and so she got the dog's ashes. She went to the park where they always go,
Yeah.
and she threw the ashes up in the air. And there's a video and photo of it, and I'm gonna post it on social media. I'll post it on our page. As she threw it up in the air, the ashes formed a silhouette of the dog.
That's crazy. Oh my
And she
gosh.
saw that, and it gives her happiness to feel that they don't really leave us.
Right. Exactly.
A little something. And I've heard and like listened to a bunch of like documentaries and just like things of like the afterlife, type stuff. And
Yeah.
some of it is actually pretty beautiful. There's a story. I'll make it quick. Um, I forgot. It's not Greek mythology. I forgot what mythology it was. But long story short, like Jupiter and Saturn, like the planets that came
Yeah.
down to Earth, and they had the power to wipe out the world by a flood, right?
Right. Yeah.
And so they went door to door, and no one gave them hospitality, because they were just strangers walking through the town. And the last door they knocked on was these two old people, and they asked if a place to stay or just to hang out or get some water. And they cooked them dinner, they gave them a place,
Yeah.
and they told them, they said, look, the world's gonna get flooded, and since you guys gave us your hospitality, like we'll grant you one wish. And the wish for them was, even after they die, to still be together
That's crazy.
because of their love, right?
Yeah.
So long story short, the flood happened. They actually survived, right? Because they gave them the hospitality. So the flood happened,
Yeah.
but once they died, they became two trees, and those two trees were like planted next to each other, and the two trees intertwined
Oh.
with each other. And so even after they're dead, they still were together. Their wish was granted.
That's crazy.
And so it's just like things like that, and like that dog with its ashes, like the silhouette of the dog is like that dog's still there.
Yeah.
It's still around. So I mean, we can go on and on about afterlife and all that good stuff, but
Yeah.
today's a happy day, right?
Happy.
Because happy because there's too many things going on in the world that's just like, why even pay attention to?
Yeah. Definitely.
Just because the world's messed up doesn't mean you should be messed up.
right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for another thing, which I think is really cool. And I laughed when I was telling Timmy because his response was priceless. Um, but in Washington, growing for years out of a special group of humans, a new language came out, and it's called Pro-Tactile ASL.
Protactile ASL.
Yeah, so this is for people who are born blind and deaf. Or they don't even have to be
Oh.
born blind and deaf, but people who are blind and deaf.
So what does that entail?
So basically, they're using each other's bodies as communication. Like they feel each other's bodies, and it might be weird for the the average person because like you only touch another person if it's like if you're closer.
Yeah.
If there's like you're not gonna just touch someone's thigh.
Yeah.
Like
And they'll be like, I love you or something.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's a little different, but the examples they gave us, or they gave me when I was looking it up, is like for the sentence "I climb a tree," right? They'll grab your arm and then they'll walk their fingers up their arm as if they're climbing a tree, right?
Huh.
And I told Timmy that, and he goes, "How would they know?" And I was like, "What?" He's like, "How would they know? That's what it means." And I was like, "Dude, that's so funny. Maybe they have to learn Braille first or something." You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because how can you tell a deaf and blind person, "Hey, this means," like, how can you tell them?
Yeah.
Like, this is a dog. Like, how can you say this is a dog? You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
So it's just like, it's this whole weird system. And there's 50,000 people right now who are blind and deaf. So
50,000?
50,000.
Wow.
And I think that's just in the, correct me if I'm wrong, but it might just be in the United States. But yeah, so they started this program over in Washington to help these people communicate
That's crazy.
with other people.
Is it like a university or?
No. I didn't get into that much research. It's just a special group
Okay.
that, just came together and just wanted to help out the community a little bit, you know?
Well, if you know someone that's blind and deaf, then we know some people in Washington that can help you out
Yeah,
or help
bro.
them out so cool.
Speaking of languages, I watched this documentary, and I know we're going to go on break in about a minute, but I watched this documentary, and this American went to this tribe, right? And he had a bunch of, like, fishing hooks,
Yeah.
right? And so they're not modern in the modern language, so they don't have numbers, right? Because they're that, I don't want to say poor, but they're not that built in the system yet
Yeah.
in order to use numbers, right? So the guy laid out like 3 fishing hooks, and he goes, "How many is that?" He says, "A few."
Yeah.
So he laid out a couple more fishing hooks. "How much is that?" He goes, "A little more." And then he let out more. He's like, "How much is that?" He's like, "A lot." You know what I mean? So it's like they don't have numbers. They're not like, "Oh,
Yeah.
that's 3 fishing hooks," and stuff like that. So when it comes to like trading their seasonings or like their clothes or like their whatever they're for trades, they don't really have a number scale for that. So they
Yeah.
just give them bundles and call it a day.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting. And there's also I think it's over in Switzerland. It's called the bird language,
Bird language.
and they don't speak words. They like whistle.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so like they did this video, and they're in the middle of town, and you don't see nobody, but you hear chirping everywhere.
That's
It's
wild.
so crazy. So like they followed this family, and they're
Oh,
out there chopping wood or doing whatever they're doing, and the wife made dinner. So she called the family to come eat, and she's like, and then
That's crazy.
their response was like, "I'm coming." You know what I mean?
Oh my
And
gosh.
it's a town. It's a town of people who
In
learn
Switzerland?
that language, and there's actually a school that they teach kids to learn that. It's called bird language.
That's crazy.
It's pretty gnarly. So it is 7:30, half hour into the program. I hope you guys are, tuning in and being interested, and maybe you learned something out of these random conversations. But before we go on break, we're gonna be playing one of our boys' song again.
Sonny Babel.
Sunny Babel.
Hanging Gardens.
Yes, sir.
Tower of Babylon is out on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you listen to music.
Yeah.
He was a guest 2 weekends ago.
2 weekends ago, yeah.
And so he had a whole album release party for it. It was pretty good.
The rooftop party, right?
It was a rooftop party.
Unfortunately, I wasn't there, but my boy Kyle Anthony was there.
It was amazing. And so just a little bit of taste of the album we'll play during the break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about whatever works.
All right. So let's play some of Sonny's music for him.
Yeah. Every second I've spent with you feels like a lifetime lived well. You'll be the last person here on earth that I plan to let down. You're such a queen, don't let anyone see you walking with your head down. I must confess now, I think that I'm falling for you. I think that you falling for me. Let's take a trip, I want you to see what it's like in the Garden of Eve. I think I'm falling for you. I think you falling for me. Let's take a trip, I want you to see what it's like in the Garden of Eve. I love writing love songs. I don't think that this love's wrong. I love writing love songs. I don't think that this love's wrong. I really like what I'm seeing in you. You let me do what I needed to do. Be listen, you're different. I plan on seeing it through. Do you remember how it started? We got too much here in common. I need you to look at me with them pretty eyes and tell me you want it. Without telling me that you want it. You're so accustomed to hardship. Beautiful canvas, you are my madness. We get to, you are the artist, baby. I know I'm not perfect, but these kisses, I shower you in a bliss. Listen, this message is urgent. If you leave me, I'll fall right in the abyss. However far away, I will always love you. However long I stay away, I will always love you. Whatever words we say,
we are gonna.
I will always love you.
That was Sonny Babble.
Sonny Babble, everybody.
And you can listen to that on Tower of Babylon. You can hear that anywhere anywhere you listen to music.
Yeah.
I listen on Spotify.
Yeah, and actually, that's not even his biggest hit.
No,
So
that
you
is
guys-
not even close.
Yeah, so if you
The
guys
whole
like that
album.
song,
Whole album is great.
yeah,
No skips.
That was the only song that we're able to play on the radio.
Yeah.
But hey, that was a good one, and I hope it got you guys' attention. I hope you guys support him. He is a local rapper. Where is he from? Highland?
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino, Highland.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy, he's jumping through the ropes. You know, there's a picture of him and his dad in the garage setting up a little studio, and he's like 9 years old. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
And now he has his picture on the billboard. He's doing rooftop concerts and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
rooftop concerts.
Hey,
He
man.
has got a billboard right off of the 215.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
So, hey, one more time, give a shout out to all of our sponsors real quick.
SNJRadio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And
Good.
and our man, Secondhand Sam, up in Second Chance Thrift Store next to USA Subs on Yucaipa Boulevard.
Yes. And we'll be right back. We're going to play some news. I'm going to do the weather and traffic for you guys, so stay tuned. You guys are listening to Whatever Works on Sam Works.
Kyle Kerrigan.
And we'll be back after this break.
Got that sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah.
Miss your favorite show? Download the podcast at kcaaradio.com.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. 2 funeral homes in Uvalde, Texas are offering free services for the victims of Tuesday's mass shooting. The local mortuaries made the announcements to the families within hours of the shooting. 9 of the victims' bodies were released to funeral homes last night. The local official conducting the inquest says all of the remaining bodies should be released today. NBC's Morgan Chesky on some of the little souls lost in that classroom.
Jackie Cazares, Alicia Ramirez, Rogelio Torres, and Eli Garcia. Many showing up to school Tuesday, dressed to impress, as part of a school-wide Footloose and Fancy Day.
On Tuesday, an 18-year-old gunman shot and killed 19 children and 2 adults in an elementary school in the close-knit community. First-time claims for unemployment benefits are down. The Labor Department reports 210,000 Americans filed initial jobless claims last week. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
KCAA.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. It is 7:36 on KCAA 1050, the station that leaves no listener behind. I'm Sam Works, taking a look at the traffic and weather. In Moreno Valley, accident, left lane blocked, I-215 northbound at Highway 60. And in Rancho Cucamonga, car fire blocking the 2 center lanes, stop traffic from Cherry Avenue, 210 westbound at the I-15. And in the Inland Empire, mostly clear through Wednesday and gradually warmer. Highs Monday around 88 and in the 90s beginning Tuesday. Light winds, but 15 to 25 miles an hour in the afternoons. This weather and traffic brought to you by Dell Technologies. To do more with a Latitude laptop, they provide innovators with the tools to succeed. Dell Technologies recommends Windows 11 Pro for business. For advice and expertise, call a Dell Technologist advisor at 877-ASK-DELL on KCAA 1050 AM, 102.3 FM, and 106.5 FM. The trifecta of talk in the Inland Empire.
You've tuned in to KCAA, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Are back. What's going on, everybody? You're listening to Whatever Works. I'm Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And you guys are listening to the best show on KCAA. A little shout out to ourselves, right?
Shout out. Where's the applause?
Right here, brother. Right here.
Perfect.
Yes. And as you guys can see, if you guys are watching us, Kyle has front and center. He is the man today. I am in the back, controlling the board. Because why not? More control, the better, right?
We also got Timmy here.
Oh, shout out to Timmy.
Shout out to Timmy.
Hey, Timmy's been a big supporter, man. So shout out to him. And your dad. You can't.
And
you
shout
can't
out to
leave
my
your
dad. Yeah. Father's Day is coming up.
Oh, really? That's funny. When's Father's Day?
19th.
19th. What am I doing on the 19th?
We have the show.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. 19th is on a Sunday. Didn't know that. All right, cool. And you want to spill any secrets? Are you going to do anything with your dad for Father's Day?
I don't know yet. I'm going to probably take him out. Take him out to lunch and dinner.
There you go. What's your dad's favorite type of food? What is
he likes everything.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What does he crave? The steak and mashed potatoes, or is he more like a?
He's a lot like me. He's very go with the flow. Like tomorrow we might be feeling fish, or we might be feeling steak, or it changes. But
a burger, a nice burger somewhere.
Yeah. So
there is speaking of steak, there is a place. Man, I hate when I think of things on top of my head because I can't be specific.
Yeah, same.
But there's a steak place where it's very Western, right? And back in the day, during the Western era, 1800s, you don't wear ties.
Oh yeah, so they cut the ties.
They cut the ties off.
I know a lot of steakhouses like that.
Really?
Yeah. I can't think of the name of that steakhouse, but it's there's a steakhouse that does it. It's off of the 215, off of La Cadena. I don't know if that's actually in the city of Riverside or just before it. It may be Grand Terrace. It may be.
We're just sending people everywhere. Like, find this place.
I can't think of the name.
Oh, so the one I went to is called the Pinnacle Peak Steakhouse.
Yes, that one.
All right,
that
there
is
you
the
go.
one.
Pinnacle Peak Steakhouse. Let me see where that's at. It's in Colton.
Yeah, Colton. Okay.
And the address is 2533 La Cadena.
Yeah, La Cadena.
Drive.
Yep.
Colton. Yeah.
Right off La Cadena.
And so I went there for my dad's birthday a couple of years ago because he's a steak man. Steak and mashed potatoes. Like, yeah. And he had a really good birthday, but that was my first time being there, and I see all these ties, and then I find out the reason why and all the history and stuff. So it was actually during the pandemic, and it was like my 2-year anniversary with somebody, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, we're gonna go here, and I bought myself a white tie.
Oh man.
And I put on it with a black Sharpie. I wrote "Happy Anniversary." You know what I mean, with like the date and everything on it. and we showed up because it was the pandemic. It wasn't it, man. We're like, oh man, that sucks. So like, maybe next time I can do that, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
But you
It's
know,
a pretty good steakhouse too.
oh yeah, talk about like 20-ounce steaks,
Yeah.
16-ounce steaks. You're like, dude.
And they're reasonably priced, if I remember. It wasn't too expensive.
No, it wasn't. I mean, I definitely had my brothers pitch in, and I pitched in for this whole,
Yeah.
shebang, but it wasn't as much as I thought.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of things going on, like events and festivals and stuff, especially around this area. Like this week, you came over and you and Tim were like, all right, what are we going to do today?
Yeah, what were we going to do? Yeah.
Go on an adventure, but you guys already went hiking, you guys already did this, you already did that. And then if you guys actually look up like events that are happening, like even locally,
Yeah.
you know, the Redlands Bowl, they started opening up and they're going to start doing plays and stuff again.
Oh, nice.
And I haven't been to one in years. My grandpa, he moved to the Philippines, and you know, he would go with my mom, and my mom would take us as little kids. And you know, as kids, like, oh, you don't want to go to a play, like, you know.
I love performing arts.
But every time after the show, it hypes me up. I'm all excited, you know. And so I'm actually really happy that they're opening up again, because that's like something that we used to do as a family and stuff. So
yeah.
I'm going to go there with my mom. And I think their opening play, I think my mom told me, I don't want to get it wrong, but it might be like Ariel.
Okay.
You know, like Under the Sea
Yeah.
type stuff. Speaking of Under the Sea, again, I'm jumping around, but that's okay. Bear with me,
Whatever
guys.
works.
Whatever works. So yesterday, I did an open house.
Yeah.
And the owner that's selling the house, you know, he's part of the Elks Club, Elks Lodge.
Yeah.
And they were having this event last night where, you know, you drink whiskey and smoke cigars. And I was like, that's pretty cool. You know, they tell you what the whiskey is, how it's made, and all that stuff, and then, like, what cigar, like, pairs with it, right? And that's what he told me at first, because he'd been to one before.
Yeah.
Well, I got all excited, and then he was like, well, no whiskey, but it's pirate themed, so they have, like, rum mixed drinks and stuff like that. And I still went, you know, because he invited me, and I was very grateful for that. And they had free drinks, free food, music. And the reason why I bring up Under the Sea is because it wasn't a band. It was two people, and they were playing steel drums.
Oh.
I have never seen anyone play steel drums before.
Really?
Yes, it's crazy. And if you guys ever looked at a steel drum, I didn't look in the inside, but my friend described it to me. But on the outside, it's like a bowl and it has like hexagon shapes like underneath it. It was a trip.
Yeah.
And they're just jamming out playing. They were playing Under the Sea.
That's crazy.
Because that's like that's the instrument that's used for that song, you know? And it was pirate themed, you know, so that's a perfect song to play. And
I love that.
They were rocking out. They were playing Bob Marley, they were playing the Beach Boys and all this good stuff. And I was just amazed. And you know, I went there not for the drinks, not for the cigars, but just to socialize and like network and stuff, cuz this guy's selling his house, and I was doing an open house for him. So it's like, hey, let me talk to your friends, let me talk to your community, and you know, get my name and my face out there and stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And so I had a real good time. I met a lot of real good people, and you know, they're like, oh, you should sign up to be a member of the Elks Lodge. And I was like, oh, you know, I'll think about it, because when me and my brothers were younger, we joined a thing called the Young Marines. Right, and it's literally like, you can't do it when you're 18. It's people who are under 18, and they kind of just like, not necessarily prepare you, but it's Young Marines. You're dressing up in camo boots. You're doing a mud run. You're climbing. You're hiking. You're doing all this. You're running miles. You know.
Yeah.
And that was the Elks Lodge in Redlands was where we were stationed at. So every morning,
everything comes full circle.
Exactly. Every morning, 7 a.m., rain, snow, or shine. That was the hotline. Like, we'll call the hotline the night before to see if like we're gonna go, and they're like, yeah, rain, snow, or shine, like, be there 7 a.m. And I was like 9 years old when we started.
Oh man.
That every Saturday, I was like, you know, but it was so fun. It's kind of like, you know, like those things where you kind of drag your feet in the beginning, but when you get done with it, you're all pumped up. You glad you went type stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And we did that for a couple years, and we just stopped going. But when he told me it was at the Redlands Elks Lodge, it was like nostalgic when I pulled into the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh man, because usually
Oh,
what 7
brought everything
a.m.
back, huh?
Yeah, 7 a.m. you're running a mile. You know,
Oh, so it brought back those memories. You're
yes,
like, oh man, I don't know if I want to be.
but it was good memories.
That's
you know?
good.
And the memories at the Elks Lodge are like, hey, like we will welcome you even more because like you have a history already with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Speaking of meeting people, when we went to Oceanside, after it closed, we decided to check the pier out. You know, just hang out by the pier. We actually met someone named Johnny from Hemet. We got his phone number, fishing with him, and you know,
Johnny.
yeah. So we all got his phone number, his socials, and yeah, we all hung out.
That's
It was
pretty cool. How'd you guys meet? You guys just
It was Alvin was with us, and so we were walking away from the pier going home, and we're like, wait, where's Alvin? So we go back and we saw him chatting with this guy,
Johnny.
So shout out to Johnny from Hemet if you're listening.
Hopefully, huh?
Hopefully. But otherwise, yeah, so we all started chatting with him. We were there for like another hour and a half.
Nice. Good
So,
conversation.
Yeah, very good conversation, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of meeting people, we're just going to build up on it. When I was in Lake Havasu, I was walking down the channel, and this family was playing Sunday Best.
Really?
And I had to turn around and stop, and I'm like, hey, bro, check this out. This is literally my theme music to my radio show, whatever works. And he was like, oh, yeah? And I was like, yeah, bro, just go on Spotify, like, da-da-da. You know, I gave him all the information and stuff, and
Oh.
we were cool, and he was cheesing. You know, we had a good time. And
What's the family? What's her name? Do you remember?
I didn't get the names.
If you're listening, hit us up.
Yeah, let us know how
Yeah,
your
let us know.
Havasu trip was, because, I mean, it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, I read the newspaper. Ha ha ha. I read the newspaper in Havasu, and it said that last Memorial, the year that I went, broke record high of like tourism.
Really?
And they expected for this year to be even worse. So when I got there, I was like, whoa, you know what I mean? Like last year, it was a parade of boats. It was so like there wasn't enough docks for boats to pull up in. But this year, it was a little unpopulated. I mean, there's still a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't as packed as it was last year.
If you were to give like a percentage, what would you say? Like, was it half or 75% or?
Yeah, like 75%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's still not too bad.
Yeah, because when you go out to like Kokomo's or like BJ's and stuff, like, I mean, going out on like Saturday nights are fun, right? Because that's when everyone's out. But it's really not that fun when you're like shoulder to shoulder, crunched up next to people. You can't dance, you can't get your drink, you know, you can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And so like everyone's like, hey, Saturday night is the night. And so we went out Saturday, and there's too much people, you know.
That's crazy.
So there's a fine line. There's like a balance of how much people you want to be a certain place, you know. So it was pretty cool. I had a good time. But 4th of July is coming up pretty soon.
4th of July, yep.
What are you doing for 4th of July?
I don't know yet. I really don't know.
Go ahead. Yeah, my sister.
Oh, that's right.
What?
We might go to Oceanside with Johnny.
With Johnny.
Oh, Venice. Sorry, not Oceanside. Venice.
Gotcha. See, my sister, she's coming back from the Coast Guard from Virginia.
I heard about that.
On July 1st.
That's exciting.
Yeah. And so I was mistaken. I thought it was because she's like, I'm going to come back like June or July 4th or whatever, like during the holiday, whatever. But I was so like excited for her. I thought she said June 4th, right? So I called her up a couple days ago. I was like, hey, Rhiannon, when you getting here? She's like, in like a month. I was like, what? I was like so excited. I was like, hey, you want me to pick you up? I'll pick you up. You know, you want to go out? Like, what are we doing? So like I asked her what she wanted to do for 4th of July, and she said that she wanted to go out and go to Oceanside. You know, that was her first initial thought. But she was like, hey, if you got any other ideas, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you and Timmy and all of us are going to Venice, I'm pretty sure she wouldn't mind, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
So, because I haven't seen her in a long time, it feels like. So, but I know she's out there having fun.
Yeah,
know?
definitely.
But, anywho, let's see what's going on. Oh, and another thing, talk about socializing and stuff. As a real estate agent, one of my jobs is to do open houses.
Yeah.
And honestly, I love it. I love doing open houses because you know, when my sister was around, we would always stop by an open house.
Really?
Because it's like the only houses you walk into are yours and your friends, you know? But if there's an open house and it's a big house, it's like, when's your next opportunity to go check out how, like, what it's like, you know?
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
And even when we go out to restaurants and stuff, we're like, hey, let's check out the bathrooms.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
it's funny, but there's, you know, down in, like, La Jolla, this, like, fancy restaurant, we walked in there just to use the restroom because we wanted to see what the bathrooms look like, and it blew me away. I was like, what the heck? Like, just how everything was set up, and it wasn't 2 minutes. It was fun. It was a good time. But doing this open house, like, I get to meet people who I wouldn't usually bump into, like, in the streets or anything, you know? So it's like, if it wasn't for this open house, you and I probably would never have this conversation.
Right.
You know? And it's like, it's all love, you know? So these open houses, I get to go in these houses, check out the house, see what I like, you know? And then I get to meet families who are just super nice and super friendly, and you know, I just get to socialize, you know, and I think that's what it's all about. So
and maybe one of those families, you know, gets to buy that house.
You know, get their dream home.
Get their dream home.
Yeah.
And it's all thanks to you.
Hopefully, right?
Hopefully, one of these days.
Because there's all those other families I got to be like, sorry. You know, keep hunting. You'll find something. You know? So I talked to how much more time do we have, Joe? Theoretically, 1 minute. All right. We're just gonna close it up. We'll continue this talk next week or some other time when we have more time. You know, it's always fun chatting with you, Kyle.
Always.
You know, even when we don't have a guest, it's cool because now we can
Love to be here.
Yeah, we just get to expand our own thoughts and conversations without sticking to a subject, because the show is whatever works, right?
Whatever works.
So
Absolutely.
We're closing up to you guys. Happy Sunday. I appreciate you all for listening. I'm Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And you guys listen to Whatever Works. Stay tuned for next week.
Or relocating to the perfect spot, Oscar Ramirez from Century 21 Lois Lauer Real Estate and Matt Flores from Secure Choice Lending are here to help you sell or buy with their trusted and experienced knowledge and advice. People are calling Oscar and Matt at 951-751-3249. That's 951-751-3249. Real estate and loan advisors Oscar and Matt can give you a no-cost consultation. You don't have to buy anything. Matt and Oscar can help you figure your way through the complicated real estate market. Email Oscar at loislauer.com or on Instagram at Oscar Ramirez Garcia and Matt Flores at securechoicelending.com. Don't let today's real estate pitfalls stop you from dreaming. Make your new home dreams come true. DRE number 0207-0344. Se habla español.
This segment brought to you by Matt Flores of Secure Choice Lending in Riverside. We thank Matt for being a man of his word.
Hi, I'm Matt. No one is more curious than now about the real estate market and what lies ahead. But one thing is for sure, we can help you with your next move. We're licensed in 14 states, and we take pride in our trustworthy service that takes the stress out of your next refinance or next real estate transaction.
You can find Matt Flores of Secure Choice Lending at www.securechoicelending.com or on Instagram at MatthewF444. No matter what your age is, it's never too late or early to find a good lender. You can call 951-742-1382. That's 951-742-1382. Or Google Matt Flores Loans.
Hey, mortgages are kind of boring, but we keep it fun. NMLS.